there. I'm here with Cath Duncan, and it really is an honor to have Cath with me today. I've been following her. I'm not sure when I first discovered Cath, about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. And I think what really drew me to her is her ability to be authentic and vulnerable and invite people into that kind of space with her, and but still hold on to strength at the same time. And so when I started envisioning this story gathering, I really felt like Cath was a person I wanted to engage in this process. So welcome, Cath. Thank you so much for joining me. So, Cath, to start with, I'm just inviting people to share a story of their own personal story of when they had to, either they were required by circumstances or they chose to, what I'm calling let go of the ground and really enter into a transformational process of surrender, whatever was required of them. So, to start off with, can you share that story with us?
Sure. I don't know if anyone ever chooses to let go of the ground, as you say, because I'm one of those people that sort of had this timeline of people would look at my life and I look at my own life and think, well, it just always works out, right? And at the same time, I was doing a lot of work with folks who were in crisis and trauma and horrible grieving, so I had a theoretical understanding of what it meant to let go of the ground, and then I am now in a space where I'm getting to experience it for myself in my own life. So it was not a voluntary letting go of the ground. I don't think that anyone would volunteer to let go of the ground in the kind of circumstances that I did. I suppose, probably useful if I say exactly what happened. And when you're in the middle of it, it's still hard to say. When you say it out loud, the things that have brought you to that place of letting go of the ground. When you're still in the early stages, it feels like it's a calling to hear out loud. But I'm going to say it as quickly and best as I can. I have a chronic, a hereditary kidney condition, and 6 months ago, while I was pregnant, my first pregnancy, my kidney condition deteriorated significantly, and we found ourselves in a situation where my life was at risk in the sense that we weren't sure if it was preeclampsia that could develop into all sorts of awful stuff like comas and renal failure. Yes, for me, and our child's life was at risk as well. And, we carried that tension of, what do you do? What decisions do you make? And you've got all these professionals telling you what they think. And at the end of the day, it's a moral decision, right? Mm-hmm. So there's no right answer and you've got to live with it. But we were scared of making a decision. We found that our daughter's heartbeat had stopped beating. And so that was when next week will be 6 months ago. So it's the multiple. I guess whenever you're placed in a situation where you lose something that's really important to you, or someone that's really important to you. The obvious loss is, we lost our daughter. The risks involved mean that, we've lost the opportunity to create another child. There's been some loss to my health. although I found out today, fortunately, not as bad as they had thought. And the thing that we often don't realize is that actually, when it's a significant loss like that, you lose yourself. Like everything that you knew, everything you felt so certain of before, about this is the way the world is, this is what I think about stuff, this is what I would do in this situation, that situation, like it gone, and that then causes a ripple effect because, here I said I haven't returned to my business in these 6 months because I'm not the same person. I don't have the same vision. I was doing career coaching. I'm like, I can't. I don't believe the same stuff that I used to believe. And I'm still in the process of reformulating. What do I believe now? So to sit with someone else, it hasn't been particularly easy. So I haven't returned to that. And I don't think I will return to that kind of work in that space. And then there's all the relationships that get turned over, because I'm different. I relate differently to everyone, all my friends and family. And some relationships have the adaptability and flexibility that they can flow with that. And then others haven't yet. And, we used to be close and now there's this massive gap and that's another loss, So when you said to me about, letting go of the ground, at first I was like, what does that mean? But, I kind of intuitively, I knew it meant it's basically whatever you consider to be the ground. Well, what was the ground for you in your life, right? It's, and I had a bunch of stuff that was sure for me before, things like work vision and what contribution I wanted to make in the world and that what kind of family we were going to create and I don't have that certainty anymore. And it's that I think we're programmed to avoid uncertainty because it's so scary. It really does feel like I don't know. I guess particularly for someone like me, the way it's affected my work, I guess I probably did have my identity very wrapped up in my work. And in many ways, my personal identity had started to change to become a mum. And to have that, stopped immediately.
Right.